everyone. Welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Molly.
And I'm Alexa.
And I am right off of having the biggest heart attack of my life. I just walked in and Alexa was literally laying on... Okay, it was... Alexa, I need you to know how creepy it was. I'm so serious.
I'm a creep.
But I don't think you understand. Like, I'm, like, scared of things. And, like, I walked into the... on set. I walked on set. And you're just, like, in the corner of the room... cuddling Poe in her bed, which is fine, but it was the creepiest thing. You were literally like in the corner staring up at me smiling. And I couldn't find you at first. That was
I could hear you coming up the stairs. I was like, oh, she's going to see us in this two little dogs in a bed together.
No, it was so scary. Because I looked around, didn't see you at the chair, and then I just looked down and you're... I'm like, it's like nightmare fueled. I'm so serious.
Oh, yay.
What?
You'll never forget me now.
No, it was like, for some reason, it really scared me. Anyway.
I'll be your sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
Me and Poe.
You are.
Standing in the corner, both eyes unblinking.
My sleep paralysis demon is you going, well, we can go record if you want.
Yeah.
That means the tea sesh is over.
Yeah.
It's actually a little sad when you say that because I'm like, oh.
It is, but I also know...
It's bittersweet.
If we wait, yes.
Yes.
If we wait too late, then we're going to be a little tired, baby.
And it just means that we're going to come up and just talk about more.
Yeah, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah. So...
Today, is that how the
I was like, what
goes?
are you singing?
Is that how it goes, or was that different?
No, that. So that's not Here Comes the Bride. That's when the bride and groom are like leaving. That's like the song. That's the exit song.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
I just realized there's 2 wedding songs. Never thought about it.
That is crazy. I mean, I guess people get married every day. So.
What's your like favorite movie cliche? Or trope?
My favorite movie, like of like weddings, or just in general?
Just in general. Could be weddings though.
Like that I enjoy or that I love to make fun of?
Anything.
Okay. Actually, you know what? My not favorite movie cliche, the one I get angry at the most is every time you see a woman throw up in a movie, she's pregnant. And I'm here to say I've thrown up a lot in my life and I've never been pregnant.
Yeah.
Every single time.
That's a good one.
And it's like always, like people are like, how'd you know she was pregnant? I was like, she threw up, or she'll be like, oh,
yeah.
Like I'm really nauseous.
But you know what it is like they wouldn't, I think it's because it's like, oh, they wouldn't just do that for no reason, you know? There's got to always be a reason.
Now they should start. Throw it in there. Throw us off the plot.
Yeah.
You know?
It's either hungover or pregnant.
Yeah. What about you?
I have this thing where I hate when people are like, they call and they're like, there's like something happening. They're like, turn on the news. And they just turn on the TV and it's the news.
It's on the news.
First of all, like I would love to just see something where they turn on the TV and it's like a commercial break. And they're like, well, and now you have to wait like 5 minutes for it to get back.
Yeah. You know what also I hate, actually? Now we're just on tropes I hate. But whenever, like, I know they're trying to establish relationship between characters, but they'll be like, sure, brother. You know what I mean?
say that. Yeah, that is probably my number one.
Late
hey,
again,
sis.
sister. Yeah.
Hey,
all right,
sis.
sis.
I'm like, there's other ways
cousin.
to make it clear. Yeah.
I've never called my cousin.
I've said cuzzo with my cousin before, and then I do feel somewhat like
you're in a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, cuzzo. But brother and sister, I know brothers and sisters don't do that.
If you didn't know, you would never know that my sister and I were related. I've never called her sister, sibling, sis, or anything.
Well,
she's just
you would
Olivia.
know because you guys look alike.
But like if that, you know what I mean? Like there's no establishing relationship there. We're just there.
Yeah. There's better ways to do it. You could even just be like, mom and dad did this or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but I hate the, hey bro, like, hey sit, hey little sit. Like, no.
Yes.
No one.
Very annoying. But anyways.
Big bro. Ugh.
Well, we're here to talk about one of the biggest tropes is weddings.
Yeah. Weddings where something is going wrong.
Which is one of my favorite.
It totally is, yeah.
Okay, so we're here to talk about something very bad is going to happen.
Is it something really bad or something very bad?
I thought it was something really bad, but it's something very bad.
Okay.
Because
I was very bad.
Yeah, I was researching it earlier and I kept typing it in wrong. And that's why I thought I was going to like it. You know, I love weddings plus murder plus mystery.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate this show, but I also didn't love it. It's got amazing critical reviews for some reason.
Yes.
And Did you end up finishing it?
No.
Okay.
So I knew that you were probably going to talk about it, and I was like, you know what? This girl finished it. She really wants to talk about it.
This girl.
Don't wait up for me. I watched it last week with my mom. We both watched the first episode, and I thought it was good. Like, I didn't hate it. I thought it was actually thought it was scary.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. And then I just was like, but I'm not intrigued enough to keep watching. And I think that's just how it
It was scary. And so, for some background, so it's a series written by Haley Z. Boston, which is like, what a phenomenal name.
Yeah.
And it's executive produced by the Duffer Brothers. It stars Camilla Maroney as the main character, Rachel, and Adam DeMarco as Nikki, the groom. And there's kind of like this certain atmosphere of horror that's felt the week before a celebration of an unfortunate wedding. That's kind of like the little logline synopsis. But basically, like, they go and they are getting married at Nikki's, like, very wealthy, their cozy cabin that's like a mansion cabin in the middle of nowhere. And then, like, Rachel starts to have kind of like doubts not only about their marriage but also about his family because they seem fucking weird and like oddball. But
there's
family.
also something off with her immediately too.
Yes.
So interesting. Okay.
Yeah, she's the definition of like walking anxiety. And so her paranoia about like the intentions of her fiance's siblings and spaced out mother kind of like grow over time. So what episode did you get to? I'm curious.
Just watch the first episode.
Really? Okay, yeah. Because it does not go where you're thinking it's going to go. And it's kind of like, I will say that the first few episodes were really scary to the point, like, there's this one part where, like, this face pops out and it made me jump, and then I was watching it when Chris was, like, gone on his bachelor party and ended up, like, bringing Poe into the bed with me. I was like, we're just two little dogs, we're just scared.
Yeah.
But then, like, the rest of the show really petered out for me.
Really?
Which is disappointing because I think the vibe and the premise was really there, but there were so many plot holes and it was so, like, odd. So we're going to get into spoilers here because I can't talk about it without it because the point of the plot kind of like changes probably after episode 2, I think. So as always, we put our timestamps in the episode description and in our Instagram feed. Follow us at Poppin In Podcast. So if you don't want spoilers, skip through it, watch it, come back. Always come back and listen. But I'm going to be mentioning some things. So basically, the first, like, 2 episodes are building where it's, like, she's so, like, all this weird stuff is happening with her family, right? She's like, oh, my God, like, I found this needle of, I forget, it's, like, the drug that, like, if you...
Are you saying her family or his family?
Sorry, his family.
Yeah.
With his family. And she found, like, this needle of, like, the drugs that's, like, oh, it's going to kill them. And they're all just weird. It's, like, a strange vibe. Mm-hmm. And then you find out it's because the mom has, like, some kind of incurable brain cancer. So after the wedding, she wants her son, who's also a doctor, to basically do, like, an assisted suicide situation. But they only find this out after she's freaked out because there's like a wedding dress her wedding dress disappears. It's on a stick monster in the woods that her nephew has built because he thought it would get rid of this like childhood story that they always tell at this cabin about the sorry man.
Yeah.
And so she like is running down the road screaming while her husband or her fiance comes back. He's like, what's going on? She explains it to him. And then he goes up to her family and that's when his family, and that's when they have to tell him like, hey, your mom is dying, by the way.
Wait, why is oh, okay. Interesting.
They didn't want to tell the younger brother because they were like, well, it's your wedding. So we don't want to like be like, by the way, your mom is dying.
Yeah.
So then he's really preoccupied with this. Definitely like an Oedipus complex type of thing. I think he's in love with his weird ass mom or whatever.
Yeah.
So then other weird stuff starts happening. So you find out that like Rachel's parents, so the sorry man is actually the older brother's like nightmare that he had where when he ran away when he was little and in the woods he said he saw this guy called the sorry man. And you get this thing where it's like a videotape like that you're watching of Rachel's parents on their wedding day. Rachel's mom is pregnant with Rachel. Like, they're getting married, and this guy comes up to him at the ceremony and says, are you sure he's the one? And the mom is like, yeah. They get married. There's a video of them back at their cabin. They're starting to do their first dance, and blood just starts running down the mom's face, out of her ears, out of her neck, out of everywhere. Like, it's like her skin is, like, seeping blood. She falls out onto the floor, and basically, like, Rachel's dad, has to cut the baby from her because she is, like, dead.
Why would blood be seeping from her face?
So to get to the point of that, it's because the oldest brother had hidden under the bed while this happened. He had ran away, and the cabin was close by to their, like...
whose oldest brother?
The oldest brother of the family. Nikki's older brother.
Why would he be there at her parents'
cabin? Because it's just nearby. It's near their cabin in the woods as well.
Oh.
So he was running away, and he just hid under that bed because he saw people coming. It was Rachel's parents who were doing their first dance, and then she dies in front of him.
Oh.
But they don't know that the kid is under there. But so the reason that, like, blood is, like, seeping out from every orifice in, like, a impossible way is because the real horror of the show is that what is actually happening to Rachel is she has this, like, lifelong family curse where if you don't marry your soulmate on your wedding day, then you die. And if you break off, but the curse is, like, the logistics of the curse is fucking crazy, okay? It, like, literally is... It's so hard to follow. It creates so many plot holes where it's like, okay, so you have to, the curse starts when you are proposed to, you accept a proposal, right? Or you propose to someone. Because this is everyone in Rachel's family, so man or woman, right? So on the day that you set your wedding, you have to marry that person. If they are not your soulmate, you will die. If you don't marry them, then the curse gets transferred to their family. And so this whole, like, Rachel figures this out. She, like, finds out that everyone in her family for, like, hundreds of years has, like, gotten married here and died at this, like, place. And it's just, like, it's not coincidence, like, they're kind of brought there. She finds this out because the guy at her parents' wedding who was like, do you think he's the one, is the witness. So he was one of the first ones to, like, go through this. And so
he's the same one she saw at the bar the first episode. Okay.
And he's, like, explaining this to her. So he has to witness everyone who's died because he basically didn't marry the person that he... it's, like, Rachel's great-great-great-grandmother. He didn't marry her and is why, like, the curse got passed down to her family. So he has to watch everyone in her family die over the years, basically. So he's, like, an immortal guy. And I'm like, this is where it gets kind of weird. I would have rather it have been a plot where the family was, like, freaky, murderous, whatever. But I will say there's this interesting thing where you're kind of like, okay, well, who is Rachel's soulmate? Because her and Nikki are, like, an odd couple.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, like, sweet, like, loving, whatever, and she's, like, got bitten down anxiety, like, nails. She has, like, tattoos, like, you know what I mean? And it's not like those two people can't be together, but I'm just like, what do they have in common?
Yeah. So I thought they both didn't seem to have chemistry, yet they seemed like a good couple at the same time, just from the first episode. So I didn't see the rest. But I wasn't, like, overly invested in their relationship, but I also wasn't like, oh, they don't seem to have anything in common.
Yeah. I think, like, what's interesting about that is there's other characters throughout the show that you're like, well, maybe this person is her soulmate. So, like, the older brother, one of the things, like, there's this scene at their rehearsal dinner or whatever. They're talking to Nikki's family about, like, everyone's giving them marriage advice. And one was like, you should experience something traumatic together, like, before you get married. That's how you know you're going to make it. And her and Nikki are like, well, we've never experienced anything traumatic together. But then the brother's like, well, we have, because I watched you. I was there when you were cut out of your mom when you were born. And he doesn't say it like that, but, you know. And then, like, the brother...
Why is that kind of hot?
It is, like, kind of... It's a little bit hot.
Yeah, it's a little buzzy.
Yeah. And then, like, the brother also does this whole thing at the rehearsal dinner where he figures out that Nikki, like, the whole thing about how they met, she has to tell... You know, everyone's always asking at your wedding, like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys meet? She has to tell it over and over again about how she was about to get on this flight. She was having severe anxiety. She was like, I think something really bad is going to happen on the flight. And yeah, very Final Destination-esque.
Well, but also I was gasping.
Oh yeah, something very bad is gonna happen. And she was like, and who happens to be standing there but this guy who, like, is like, you know what, I believe you, and I think you just saved my life. And it's Nikki, and that's how they met. Well, the brother pieces it together. He's like, okay, well, you were actually at that airport because your girlfriend had just broken up with you. You were at an airport in Texas. You weren't supposed to be going on, like, whatever flight she was going on. You were supposed to be going on a flight to my wedding, and that you ended up saying that you were sick at. So really what you did is you had just been broken up with. You couldn't stand being alone, and you found someone who needed help, and you rescued them. So that way you could, like, create some kind of love story. And so then she starts doubting if they're soulmates because she's like, he's been lying to me this whole time. Like, this is crazy or whatever. But then she, like...
This is very much like the drama. It's so funny.
But then again, it's like, she's also like, she's really stressed. She's like, I have to be sure this is my soulmate when we get married because I'll die. Because she's too good of a person to transfer it to his family. I'd be like, look, it's either I die or you just don't have any children or anything. You know what I mean? Because that's what another thing is the plot hole. I thought it would be like, if it didn't happen, it would be like to his family lineage from then on. That's not what happens. So there's another plot line. She like makes out with the brother's wife, who is also
the weird blonde girl.
No, that's the sister. The brother's wife, she's the black woman who is married to the older brother.
Okay.
Yes, so they are making out, and they are like really bonding. You're like, maybe they're soulmates. Who knows? They aren't. And like, so that is what I think makes it interesting too. The whole time you're like, maybe there's an actual like soulmate. Like, you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Then it gets into some weird fucking things that again, it just doesn't make sense. So then she somehow finds this spell. She pulls out, I'm like, where was this? It's like one of these like witches grimoire books that she just happens to have. I'm like, where did this come from? Was it in their mansion cabin? Like, where did you find this? Where it's like the reverse of like something borrowed, something blue, something old, and something new. But instead it's like something red, something dead, something whatever. So she has to go collect these things. So she has to get like the blood of an enemy, or she has to get semen from the groom.
It's giving Into the Woods.
Which she has to do it in this, like, I thought this was disgusting. She has sex with him. You know, he ejaculates into her. And then she scoops it up off her leg in a cup. The craziest thing is she has to have a bone from herself in this, like, concoction.
Ew.
So she's so desperate to do this.
I'm gonna vomit. Ew.
She has the oldest brother, who's also a doctor, cut off her pinky toe right before the wedding.
Okay, that's probably what I would choose.
But what doesn't make sense is he cuts it off, and then she just gets up and keeps on going. I'm like, you've just lost a fucking toe.
It's like Sydney Sweeney on the couch after she's just been like...
Yes.
She's wearing jeans.
After she's like sliced into her stomach 1,000 times. I'm like, you just cut off a toe. She's walking down the aisle, not limping at all. I'm like, that's a pinky toe is important to your balance.
It is.
I'm no doctor. But, and then, so you're kind of like, it's supposed to be like, if she drinks this potion, she becomes his soulmate. So you're like, oh, did she drink it or didn't she? Because it's like this whole moral dilemma. You find out she didn't, but then they're at the altar. She feels so sure that he's her soulmate. She says this beautiful, like, speech or whatever. And then he's like, I don't think we should get married, actually, because I love you so much and you never wanted to get married and I kind of forced you into this. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have like 5 minutes before this whole curse is transferred onto your family. And he basically, this is where they have like their first big fight. Like, he's so nice the whole time. He's such a nice guy. Like, someone literally punches him in the face at one point.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, yeah, but like they were reasonable.
That's true, yeah.
And so he's like, you have so much anxiety, like, and that's all we ever deal with. And she's like, you're obviously like a fucking mama's boy. She was like, I was ready to marry you. You wanted to get married. And then it has to be his mom comes up, because also this is the biggest plot point plot hole that I was like, this is so stupid. He emulates his parents' marriage. It's a perfect marriage, blah, blah, blah. And there's this whole scene where his dad is like in the woods with him. He's like, I have to tell you something, Nikki. And you think it's going to be something crazy, right? It's just that his mom cheated on his dad like 30 years ago. And it ruins Nikki's like whole perspective on love and marriage. And he's like, I don't want to have a failed marriage. I don't want to do what they did. Like, what? I'm like, get over it. Your mom fucked somebody 30 years ago. Anyways, so then the mom has to convince him to be like, Nikki, like, I think you should get married. You should do it. And so then you see him doing this, and then he turns around. He's like, I never mind. You're right. Let's do it. Let's say our vows. And that's when she's like, no, I'm not going to. And that's when you have like a literal red wedding, because everyone at this wedding is Nikki's relatives, and you've met them all. You know they're all married, and they all just start bleeding out of everywhere. They're all like partying at the reception, even though the bride and groom didn't get married. And there's just blood and chaos everywhere, because apparently no one's married to their soulmate, and everyone dies. Including Rachel, who then dies, then is resurrected, and now she's the witness.
I bet there's gonna be season 2.
I hope not. Because I was like, this just doesn't make, it was too much. And it had such a promising, like, the house was really creepy.
Yeah.
The setup was really creepy.
Yeah. I will say, after I watched the first episode, didn't really give it a try, but then I was like, I'll think about it. I don't think I'm gonna finish it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't continue watching it after hearing it, because like it was promising. It was also, but the way that I felt, the reason I didn't keep watching it was because like there were certain things where I was like, oh, this is interesting. It reminded me of the movie I'm Thinking of Ending Things with Jessie Buckley and Jesse Plemons, and it's like a very good movie, but it's very like it makes no, you're just like, what is happening? It's just kind of crazy. But there's like a whole thing where they're like out in the snow, like it's like where you're like, okay, is any of this real? Like, is any of this really happening? Like, where is everybody? No one's around. She's having interactions where you're like, was that a real interaction? Like, and that's what the first episode reminded me of a little bit, when she's like, they're in the snow, they're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and like she's going into a bar and like no one's there, and it's just like that part that felt like really creepy. But then like once they got to the house and she met the family members, that's when I started to be like, I don't know, because like the dialogue was just like
so bad.
It was so bad.
The relationships between these people are so unbelievable. Like, you have this little Nicky guy, and then you just have these fucking freaks as his family. I'm like, I don't think he was raised in this.
It just felt over the top. Like the sister was just like, I could tell that it was like they were trying to be like, oh, this is the character of the show. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, she like is gonna steal the scenes, and I was just like,
yeah.
Like the dialogue was just very cringy to me. Also, I really just don't like the type of character that the main character was.
Yeah.
Because it was very much like you're supposed to relate to her, but she just was annoying me a lot.
Yes. And she was just like a walking like case of anxiety. It's just like, you need to be on Prozac, girl. Or something. There's this whole thing where, again, she's never met any of these people in his family. After one day, after she finds out they're not trying to kill her, the mom is dying, she makes them all sit down for a family therapy session that she's leading, because she's like studying to be a psychologist or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And then you're just like, these are a bunch of weirdos. And then Nikki's just sitting there smiling like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I was like looking up stuff. So this whole show is basically just like an allegory of commitment issues. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because Haley Z. Boston said, like, she was like, I remember, like, she was like, my parents actually have like a nice relationship, like they're still together. She was like, but I remember my mom saying to me at a young age, if you don't marry your soulmate, it'll ruin your life. Which is like, yeah, that would put a lot of fear into you.
Yeah.
And she also has like kind of this kind of, not creepy backstory, but like she didn't get into horror movies until like, I think like middle school or high school. But she was like, but I always had weird stuff because her mom was like a fetal abnormality doctor. So she was like, I would go on the family computer and it would just be like that was just what was on the computer or whatever. And I think it's interesting because she was saying it has a bit of a secret subliminal message in that heterosexuality is the real horror. Because she is queer, you know, but the main love story is a heterosexual story, which I was like, that's not really what I was getting from it. I actually am not sure what I'm supposed to be getting from it, especially as someone who's about to get married. I was like, I don't know what's happening here.
Interesting.
Actually. And then there was like this whole thing where people were saying that it's like really tapping into this like cultural conversation about like why millennials and Gen Zers more than previous generations are not interested in like romance or sex. It's like the dating recession or whatever. And I was like, is it though?
I keep seeing that too, and I'm like, it is?
Yeah. I was like, this feels like one person's very specific anxiety of commitment.
Yeah.
Played out along 8 episodes or whatever it is.
It's interesting because, so I was thinking, you know, obviously, Camilla Moroni plays the main character, you know, the main actress in it. And I've seen her in stuff before. So she was in Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at her Wikipedia while I was watching, you know, the first episode or afterwards. And, so I was saying, I didn't think she was bad. Like, I didn't think her acting was bad.
Yeah.
Especially because she is kind of a Nepo baby. Her stepdad is Al Pacino.
What?
Which, like, they're not really related, or he's not technically her stepdad, but
she has more of a foot in the door than us.
Yeah, so he was her mom's boyfriend for, like 6 years, or there's something, it was like they're not together anymore, but she still considers him her stepdad, even though they weren't even ever married. But I mean, but I'm also sure that she's like, you know, she's really throwing that name around too, you know? I don't know, but...
Yeah, my stepdad, Al.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah, and she also dated Leonardo DiCaprio, so...
What? She is beautiful.
She is beautiful. But I was like, you know, she's not the best actress I've ever seen, and I remember I was looking, I had totally forgotten this, but she was nominated for an Emmy for Daisy Jones and the Six, and I was like, I remember when that had happened, I was like, wait, what? Like, she's not... I remember her character, but it wasn't... I didn't think her acting was particularly good.
I tried to watch that show. I thought it was so boring.
It was. I realized, like, you mentioned you had stopped watching it. I was like, you know what? I watched it with my parents when it came out, and we stopped watching it halfway through. Yeah. Not for... Like, it wasn't even like we all... I don't think we even mentioned that we stopped watching it. We just, like, fell off of it.
Yeah, it was like my mom and I were watching it, and then nobody brought up the next episode, and we just never went back to it. It was like I never thought about it again.
I remember, what's her name? Riley Keough and Sam Claflin? Yeah. Is that his name? They were good in it.
Yeah.
They kind of carried that show, but I just was like,
the plot wasn't really...
Yeah, it was a little boring. But anyway, so what was I saying with this? Oh, but I think her acting was fine in this, and, you know, but I didn't care about the character a lot, and
also, is it, like, the writing, too? Sometimes the writing, I'm like, maybe I need to see her in maybe, like, another role, you know? Because her character was very annoying, and the writing was kind of like... Wait, what? And I will say all the casting was good because they're all people who are kind of attractive, but also a little odd looking. You know what I mean? Which is good for like a horror movie.
I really like Adam DeMarco, though. We just talked about him because he was in that
I love
podcast movie, but I really like him. He's in stuff a lot now. All of a sudden.
Although I feel like he is like, this was a very similar role to his role in White Lotus. Yeah. And then also in Undertone too, kind of. Yeah. So I'm like, I would like to see something a little bit different. I
would like to see him play like a darker character. He is on a show called what's it called? Not Adults. What am I thinking? Overcompensating.
Oh, I have heard of that. I don't know what it's about though.
I don't know what his character is like in that, but maybe it's different. Well, anyway, interesting. Thank you for sharing that because I sure wasn't going to finish it. So
I watched it all in one weekend, and I will say it was entertaining. Like, I watched it and I was like, what's going to happen next? And then I got to the end, I was kind of like, this had so much potential to go somewhere. And you know what? I think I feel like I'm in a television slump right now. Like, there's so many shows that I start or I'll even like watch a lot of because I'm like, I just need to watch something. But I'm not like, wow, that was phenomenal.
So I'm in a slump currently. As of like a couple days ago, I'm officially in a slump.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's really like, you're like, oh, I want to watch a show and like eat my little food. And it's like,
when you don't have something to pull up, it's just like, what do I'm lost.
Yeah. But I also get overwhelmed when I have a lot of stuff to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. But I keep forgetting that I want to watch The Forsytes, the saga that just came out. It's like a Downton Abbey type saga on PBS Masterpiece Classic. It's their new one.
Masterpiece Classic.
Yes.
I'm Laura Linney.
Yes. That would be a good costume for you.
What is the costume?
You just have like a red drape behind you.
Oh, with, like, You could be the Viking cruise.
Yeah. No, I'll be the soundtrack behind you. I'll just go the whole night. I would love that.
I love it.
But anyways, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to catch up on Outlander, but I'm like,
yeah, you do.
I know, but sometimes it's hard for me to get back into a show when I haven't been watching. That's Outlander also another thing. It's also, I like to do this thing. I like to wait, if it's a week-to-week show, I like to wait till a few are out, so that way if it does end on a cliffhanger, I don't have to wait.
Yeah, I will say, so Invincible is back on, and I'm getting kind of frustrated because I really want to watch it, but Matthew is like doing that thing where he doesn't want to watch something he loves.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he is waiting for the episodes to like come out more, but there's already 3 out. I'm like, let's just watch them.
Because sometimes, do you do this though, where it's like a show that you really love and the next season, it's been like a year or so though, the next season comes out and it like, sometimes I'm like, it takes me a second to be like, oh yes, I loved this show. Like I have to get back into that mindset. That's tough for me.
You know what's crazy? I don't feel like I've had a show in a while where I'm like excited for the new season to come out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like everything's like limited series nowadays. Yeah. Like when's the last time there's been something where I'm like, yes, the new season is out.
Yeah.
Other than something like last year had White Lotus, Severance. It was like all the good shows, and now it's like.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying now it's like I haven't experienced that in a while.
Yeah. I'm excited for Beef season 2, and I was excited for Jury Duty Company Retreat, which we'll be talking about in the future.
Maybe I'll pull myself together by then, because I'm not kidding. I was literally sobbing while watching the last episode.
Do you think you'll watch season 1?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good. But anyways, so that's something very bad is going to happen. It's fine. It's okay. But yeah, so, okay, this is like, I know they announced this a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to talk briefly about the 13 Going on 30 remake.
So I actually just saw something about it today, so.
Oh, really?
The casting, yeah.
Okay, so I actually really do love the casting. Emily Bader.
I don't know who that is.
She's the one who was in My Lady Jane and The People We Meet on Vacation.
Never seen either of those.
You've probably seen her. I think she is so pretty. She is like a perfect like rom-com cast like face. Hang on.
See, that's why I wouldn't know her. Oh, she kind of looks like
Kylie Jenner in there.
No, I was gonna say she looks like Bono's daughter. What's her face?
Eve Hewson.
What? She is Bono's daughter.
I know.
Well, she looks like Alexandria Daddario there.
She does. Anyways, so she is like now gonna star in it, and
wait, it's a remake?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Reboot or remake? Yeah.
Ew.
So it's gonna be Emily Bader, and get this, who would you cast as the like?
I saw it, but I already forgot who it was.
Logan Lerman.
Ugh. I don't like
Logan
Lerman.
They're an interesting. So the original came out in 2004. This one's going to be directed by Brett Haley, who did direct The People We Meet on Vacation, which starred Emily Bader.
So it's going to be like a... Whatever.
Yeah, it's set to come out on Netflix. Jennifer Garner is executive producing. They haven't said the news are like... Or they haven't said any news on like what the plot is going to be. So fans are currently like speculating what era it's going to take place in, because obviously the one in 2004 took place in like 2004 and then went back to like the 80s.
Right.
So this one, people like, I love actually I've been watching a lot of TikToks where it's like the concept of a 13 going on 30 where a teenager is 2009 and they wake up in this reality.
Yeah.
Is like, you're just like, wow. Like there was this one where she's like, wow, do I live in like a beautiful apartment? And it's like, wait, there's one bedroom. And it's like, oh, did I at least have my dream job at Vogue? And it's like, nope, just on Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
And you're like, why do I have so many bills? Like, why? They're like, why do I have crow's feet? And it's just, it is interesting because I will say, like, 13 Going on 30 is such a seminal film that really, like, it did romanticize, like, 30. And now that I am 30, I'm like, wow, Jennifer Garner did me dirty. Because none of that is, I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. She has a dream job in New York City. Not even before she had her lovely boyfriend. She had a hot hockey player. A shitty best friend, but whatever.
I'll be honest, I'm like getting all like outraged, but I actually don't really remember 13 Going on 30.
Really?
Like I saw it, but I don't remember. It's not one of those movies where I'm like obsessed with it.
I'm not like obsessed.
I love the dress, but like I don't.
I think about
I remember the dance scene, but
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my first like association with Thriller.
Yeah. I remember that, and I remember Mark Ruffalo, but other than that, I don't really remember it.
So Mark Ruffalo, I like knew him from that, and then I feel like I didn't see him for 20 years, and then suddenly he's in like Oscar-nominated films. I was like, wait.
Or the Hulk.
Yes, or the Hulk. I was like, wait, isn't that Matt from 13 Going on 30? Interesting. But I just want to, I really want to pose the question that we ask here all the time. Who's this for?
Yeah, who's this for?
Why are we rebooting this?
I don't know. And it's a nostalgia thing because I don't think, like, it's interesting with 13 Going on 30. I feel like a lot of little girls, like, we watched it.
Yeah.
What year did it come out?
2004.
Okay, so we were, like, little.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny because it's like, I don't picture like little kids watching this though. Do you know? Like, isn't that interesting? That I feel like as little kids we watched rom-coms, but then I don't feel like that's the situation now.
Well, I don't think who was I talking to about this the other day about like the rom-com situation we're currently in.
Yeah.
Where I feel like The People We Meet on Vacation, and there's been like a couple of others are like bringing back a little bit of a renaissance of rom-coms, but like the early 2000s were just like peak rom-com, like 90s 2000s, and then it was like the writing, like they just were like pushing out anything.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, this is making a bad name for rom-coms, and all of this is like not.
But I feel like back then there was just something like fun and happy about them that I think really appealed to girls, even if they were too young to really appreciate rom-coms. But there was just something like comforting about them that I think nowadays if there's a rom-com or like I almost feel like they try to go for like a dark storyline at the same time, or just something kind of heavy maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is.
I think it's because here's the thing, when people think they're writing for like 9-year-old girls, they think that like, oh, they're idiots, like I can write them anything. And I think like even at 9 or 10 years old, I think you can recognize like a plot that's like worthwhile, you know?
Yeah.
Like you think of like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or like 13 Going on 30 or whatever, and it's just like, you know what, this is nice, this is good, it's both wholesome, something about it feels realistic. I think that's also it. It's like these movies at that time felt a little out of reach, or like a little unrealistic, but within reach. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, if I were a 9-year-old watching 13 Going on 30, I would have an awareness of the world a little bit, I think, to be like, well, that certainly won't be anybody's reality. And
you know what also is interesting is that I feel like they were older in those movies.
Yeah.
But then it's nowadays, I don't think you would... like, can you think of any rom-coms that have come out recently where they're older than 30? And maybe in those movies they were younger than 30 and we just didn't seem like it to us. But they just seemed older. And in these movies nowadays, it's like, you know, it's... Sydney Sweeney, or like it's people who are like in their early to mid 20s, and still for some reason that's not like necessarily appealing to.
And maybe a part of that is because when those movies came out, people were getting like married and stuff in their like late 20s, early 30s, but now I feel like a lot of people are still getting married like in like their mid 30s or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes it feel like also, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
I don't know.
But all these reboots and stuff, like I was thinking earlier today, literally, about The Devil Wears Prada 2, and I'm like, I can't believe they have Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway out here, these like Oscar actresses, doing The Devil Wears Prada 2. They signed up for it. I'm like, it must be, you
money.
gotta trust, I'm like, it must be money. But then I think, again, who's it for? The whole Harry Potter trailer came out for HBO, and everyone was kind of just like, about it because it's exactly like the movies. It's like, well, you're not even doing like any of the CGI or anything that much better. Like all the casting looks exactly, which it's the same story, so it's going to be similar, but it's like, what's this adding to it really?
I think their thoughts are like, oh, they can world build, they can stretch it out for years.
Money.
Yeah, money.
Yes, and then they can like renew their like IP rights.
Yeah, that's what my first thought was, but I think... I don't know. I'm so over. I mean, we've said this time. I think we say this every week because we're talking about a remake or a reboot, whatever. But it's also shocking to me how many people do agree to come back to things because I feel like there was an era where like people were like wanting to forget about things, and maybe that's just with time. Like at first, the idea of doing, I'm sure at some point, like the idea of doing a Devil Wears Prada 2 was probably like, they were like, no. Yeah. But now I think like after years have passed, like people get nostalgic for stuff.
Yeah. And maybe it's because like right now in Hollywood, it's basically like you do a reboot or nothing. Like it's not like there's a ton of original roles all the time.
Also, tell me you're getting married without telling me you're getting married. You have like 30 the not tabs up on your...
Oh, on my computer? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, yeah, it's just interesting. I won't be watching that. But I also really am not, like, now that I'm thinking about it, that was not one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, the way that everybody loves it, I guess I always am like, that wasn't one of my favorites.
I think I related to it because I, too, wanted to work in magazines, and I wanted to be Jennifer Garner.
Yeah. I wanted that, like, job, but I was not... But that was in every girl had that job in every rom-com.
Yes, I was going to say, I actually blame rom-coms for my unrealistic expectations of the journalism market.
Yeah. Not of men, of career.
Like, all the men, I was like, I know those don't exist. Yeah. But those jobs, that seems reasonable.
Also, did you see that the guy from Devil Wears Prada 2 was, like, the one that played the boyfriend? Yeah. He's, like... mad that he's not in the second one, or he mentioned it's something about how he's not in the second one, and people are like, no one liked you. Yeah.
Also, like, your storyline ran out. You weren't even in like the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think you're okay. Not Adrian Brody, something like that.
I don't know.
I think there's an Adrian in his name. Anyway, so that's 13 going on 30. Let's take a window into the future, into the present.
This was just crazy to me. I just wanted to talk about it. So, Jonathan Major, he is currently filming a movie for the Daily Wire. Okay. So that's where his career is.
Wait, isn't that like a...
Yeah, they have a movie. They have a production company.
Doesn't everybody?
So he was filming a scene with his co-star JC Kilcoyne, and they accidentally fell 6 feet through an it was only 6 feet, yeah. But they fell through an unsecured window pane while filming an untitled action movie in South Carolina for the Daily Wire and Bonfire Legend. So
listen. 6 feet will get you. I remember I fell 6 feet off a trampoline once.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, he apparently didn't have to go to the hospital. He was okay. But there's a video of it. And I just wanted to bring it up because, so there's a video of them falling, like, you know, through the window. And it was just kind of wild. And it was like, oh my God. And also, I'm just like, I'm not saying I feel sorry for the guy. Because he, you know, is allegedly not a good person.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, that's where his life is right now. And
Falling through a window.
I know you don't.
On a Daily Mail set.
On a Daily Wire set.
Daily Wire set.
Yep. Can you think of anything worse?
I probably, yes, but also not great.
In terms of career paths, I'm like, damn. So, but this all happened after like a bunch of safety concerns were raised on set. So apparently like members of the crew walked out. They're like striking. And there was apparently there was no communication or meetings with department heads or the writer-director Kyle Rankin ahead of complicated stunt scenes or scenes with guns, which, as you know, like where that could end up. And one crew member with decades of experience told Deadline they witnessed no normal production activities on set, such as the presence of a unit production manager, even a crew list. Apparently there was black mold everywhere on this set. Like, it was really gross. And so members of the crew said they apparently also raised concerns because the special effects supervisor, Chris Bailey, has previously pled guilty to illegal possession of explosives on a movie set. So this is like the kind of set that the Daily Wire is like running,
crazy.
Which is just crazy. And apparently so the crew went on strike. 60% had signed union cards affirming that they wanted a collective bargaining agreement. And when asked about the safety complaints and walkouts, producers on the movie said they don't negotiate with communists. And so all of this is happening, and then Jonathan Majors falls through a window. Ugh. And I know you were kind of mentioning...
Cherry on top.
I know. And
literally.
I know you were mentioning you didn't really know who Jonathan Majors was, so just for anyone who doesn't know, he's an actor. He was supposed to be a huge part of the MCU. Like, he was being built up as going to be the next, he was supposed to be a huge... One of the next Avengers movies was, named after his character.
What character? Do you know?
He was supposed to play Kang the Conqueror, and so one of the I think one of the Avengers movies was originally supposed to be the Kang Dynasty or something like that, and so he was fired. So he was, for background, he was accused of sexual assault in 2024, and he was arrested, and then he was all of his agents dropped him, and he was fired from the MCU, and so his career is now. Canceled people go on the Daily Wire movies. Like what's the girl? She was the wrestler and she was on The Mandalorian, and she got canceled after she posted. She was just tweeting about she compared the COVID to the Holocaust, people being forced to wear masks, and she was and she refused to do they them she refused to do put pronouns in her bio, and Disney got mad at her and she got fired, and now she is on Daily Wire movies. So it's just crazy that's where I think I would rather just not work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, people have to work.
I guess people people try to make a comeback. Look at Shia LaBeouf. He's done some stuff and he's been in movies recently, I guess, and I don't know.
Kind of, yeah. I think now he's I think he keeps coming back, and then he keeps going back, and I feel like it's gonna keep being harder and harder for him to be in things. But
also just the dangers of set. Listening to the podcast What Went Wrong, you just really realize over time, and just the stuff in the news lately, where it's just okay, I think we need some tighter restrictions, which I guess is what they're protesting for. But I'm this stuff is crazy. I would not, and I guess that's why it's even crazier that Tom Cruise does his own stunts and stuff, because I would not be doing any of those stunts. It made me laugh. I was listening to this what do you call it? background footage or whatever from Pirates of the Caribbean where Keira
Knightley... you sent it to me, yeah.
Yes, and Keira Knightley, like, she was like, yeah, well, I thought, like, we were gonna have a stunt double to do this scene, and the other guy is like, you're just running up the stairs.
Yeah.
And she was like, well...
You know what I thought was cute about that, by the way? I think I messaged this to you, Yeah. But she really... I forgot that she was 17 when she filmed Pirates of the Caribbean, and she seems so much more mature in the movie, but then when I was listening to that audio, she sounded so much like a teenager in that. Like, she was like, you know, like her accent, she's like, oh, I thought I was gonna run it. Like, she just sounded like silly, you know? And it was like it was just very wholesome to me.
I was watching Atonement last night and thinking about how, like, wow, Keira Knightley really ran this time period of movies.
She did.
She had it on lock. What a time. God. And I watched every single one.
Yeah, you ate that up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to, and movie sets are not, when they're not run well, and I'm not saying, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like this particular film set is not being run well, so it's just crazy. But I just thought it was wild that he fell through a window.
That is crazy.
It's like, damn, this is where his, just feels like every news thing I hear about him, it's just like another failure, and I'm like, damn.
Another fall from grace.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Fall through a window from grace.
Yeah. God.
Wow.
So Alex Cooper of Call Her Daddy announced, I think like a couple weeks ago, that she was doing the Unwell Winter Games. And the whole purpose of this game show is basically, it actually, like, I kind of got mad when I was reading about it, but it basically is going to feature a group of polarizing reality TV stars and influencers, and it'll have 16 contestants living in a luxury chalet. I don't know, I'm poor, in Park City, Utah, and they're gonna, like, compete for cash prizes or whatever. So there's, like, a whole team, like, of people, but the big ones that, like, people were, you know, flagging was Dakota Mortensen, who, if you don't know, he is Taylor Frankie Paul's baby daddy, and everyone is like, oh, so she had her Bachelorette season canceled, but now he gets to be on whatever this Unwell game show is, and nobody's saying anything about it. Like, no, like, that actually is the one that I'm, like, most angry about.
Also, I'm starting to feel the way I feel with actors sometimes, where it's like, can we just get new people? Like, it's like, you know how we keep, like, just reusing the same actors, and it's like, let's introduce new actors. Like, I feel like reality shows, there's this universe now. Yeah. And it's like, let's just find people that no one knows, and now we can introduce new crazy characters to audiences.
It's all ratings, though. Like, I
know,
don't think Traitors, they're doing, like, a season of Traitors that's going to be just, like, random people. Yeah. And I feel like it's not going to have, I don't know, as much interest because people don't know them. You know?
I actually think it will. Like, I think it's really, there's something really fun about, like, seeing new people.
I like when I said, like, I liked watching The Mole, that's a bunch of randos.
Right. Well, and I mean, Dakota whatever and Taylor whatever, like, they had to originally be new.
Yeah, exactly.
And people fell in love, you know, or not fell in love, but people were drawn to them. So, I mean...
And it's just, like, the whole misogyny of the situation where, again,
her
season was canceled, but he's on the show, and she's, like, revealed a bunch of stuff about him lately that apparently is, like, way more incriminating. I haven't looked into it. I've just been hearing people talk about that.
And so will Alex just be hosting, but then she'll just kind of, like, you know, she's not gonna be that involved in this show.
Yes. Well, she's, like, no, I mean, her and her husband, what's his name? Matt Kaplan, they are the executive producers. I mean, I watched...
Well, no, but that's just a title sometimes. Yeah. I mean, like they'll probably be, like, talking to them, and then they'll just, like, leave.
I watched 5 minutes of it. So it premiered today, April 6th. So I watched, like, 5 to 10 minutes of it, and they seem pretty involved, and there's this whole thing where in the first episode, so they, Kendall from Love Island season 6 was supposed to be one of the contestants. He, like, literally pulls out of the show in the first episode, and, like, Alex Cooper's like, okay, well, we need someone to fill in to fill in his position, and they just literally pull someone from their production team. She was like, I forget what his name is. She's like, he has a mullet, people will love it, or something.
Yeah.
But some of the other, like, big name contestants are Huda from Love Island, who she's the Mamacita one, which she's not, like, I don't think she's necessarily, like, a bad person, but she just is
controversial.
And then Anna Delvey. Who is, like,
so it's like a House of Villains type thing.
Yes, basically. But they're, like, getting... And the thing is, I was like, this is literally just a rage bait show that's going to probably get, like... And it's on YouTube. It's on her Unwell network on YouTube. I'm like, it's probably going to get insane ratings because, people are going to want to, like, hate on these villains and stuff. And I honestly didn't even want to watch the 10 minutes that I watched earlier purely for the pod, because I was like, I don't want to give them the ratings for promoting these, like, fuck-ass people. You know, like, I was like, I just don't understand, like, the premise. One, the Winter Games, it's April. Two, I was like,
wait, what?
Yeah, and they're doing, like, they're, like, skiing and doing all these challenges. I don't care.
Yeah, now you don't. I mean, did they film it, like, during the winter?
I guess so. They were
Obviously.
like, oh, we're in, like, the
they would have had
peak of Utah, whatever. And it looked very pretty, but I was like, I'm past the snow.
Yeah, we're good.
That's an old me. I'm not interested.
I don't know. And, you know, can I complain about Alex Cooper more a little bit?
Yeah.
So she was like...
We're sorry, Emily, if you're listening. We know you love her.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Emily.
She knows.
Stop listening.
Stop listening right now.
We should give her the timestamps.
Yeah.
Well, she did the Hannah Montana, circling back to the Hannah Montana thing.
Did you watch the 20th thing?
No, but I saw I did, like, watch clips of it. Yeah. By the way, bullshit. Sorry. But the fact that it was Chappell Roan was there.
Why?
And it just felt, this was so, like you were saying, it was just, they knew, it was just a corporate.
Yeah, corporate money grab.
Corporate money grab. Like, it didn't really get into the, and I'm not saying I want, like, all the cast members from Hannah Montana to analyze the show. Yeah. Like, I don't need that, but it felt very like, okay, so we're making this about, because, like, Miley Cyrus has a weird, like, friendship thing with Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
And so it was like Alex Cooper was the one, like, interviewing, and she wasn't asking, like, in-depth questions at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. Like, it could have been more special, probably.
Yeah, it was like, it's just never, like, the interviews, like, I listened to that whole Sarah J. Maas one, and I was kind of like, this was fine.
Yeah, but I just felt like it was catering to now rather than what made the show special, or, you know, I don't know. They just didn't dive in deep enough, in my opinion. Again, I didn't really watch the whole thing, but I just know. Yeah. I've seen reviews and stuff too, and I've watched clips, and I just was like, I don't think.
I also didn't know Alex Cooper's, like, Unwell network was, like, doing shows. I guess
this is the first one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It premiered today. From what I could see so far, people were kind of like, they were like, it's fine.
Yeah. You know? I could see it not doing well.
I think they're only, when I was listening to it earlier, I was like, wait, they were like, for the next 4 days, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, these people are only together for 4 days?
Oh, that sounds like a perfect situation for a reality show.
Really? I feel like it's a cost-saving thing. I'm like, you only have 4 days.
Oh, it is. But I meant if I were on a reality show, I'd only want to be there for 4 days.
Yeah. But, like, in terms of, like, building, like, a story or whatever and something interesting, I'm like, by the end of the 4 days, it's like, okay, I'll see ya. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. But it's all, like, I think also these reality shows with the previous reality contestants are good because it's people who are used to being in front of camera. So they know, like, oh, I'm going to do something dramatic. I'm going to do whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Interesting. Let us know what you guys think if you watch it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound like a hater. I think some things just don't, like, you know when someone's good at something and then they try something else and you're like, oh, this isn't really your avenue? I could see that.
Yeah, for sure. And also, get Dakota out of here. Get him out.
Yeah. Problematic.
Yeah.
So speaking of controversial people.
Yeah.
I think we can call her that.
Yeah.
So it was announced that Sydney Sweeney would be playing Kim Novak in a movie called Scandalous with an exclamation point.
Oh, I love the exclamation point.
Movies do that now. I'm a little... You know what really do it is musicals.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little, like, we got to stop with that.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know why there's an exclamation point with that.
I haven't seen it, so you
it's not an exclamation point type show.
Yeah.
Well, it's happy, I guess, but I don't know. So, okay, Scandalous with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Scandalous. It's about Kim Novak's relationship with Sammy Davis Jr. in the 1950s. I didn't realize this, but Coleman Domingo is directing it.
Oh, yeah, I did hear this.
Yeah, and David Johnson is going to play Sammy Davis Jr. Love him.
Love him.
But who doesn't love the Sydney Sweeney casting is Kim Novak herself.
The Kim. Titular Kim Novak.
Yeah, so she said in an interview with the Times of London, not the London Times, which I thought was weird. She said that at first, because at first I thought she was jumping on the bandwagon of, like, hating on Sydney Sweeney and just not liking the casting. And I was like, oh, okay. But then it went to a weird place.
Yes. Yeah.
So she said, I would have never approved. She sticks out so much above the waist.
Yes. This is, like, again, when I first heard this story, I was like, okay, and yeah, let's see. And then she started talking, and I was like, wait.
Yeah. And so she was kind of talking about, she was criticizing her concern that the movie's going to focus on, like, the sexual side of their relationship.
Yeah.
Rather than the fact that they had so much in common.
Yeah.
And she said there's no way it wouldn't be a sexual relationship because Sydney Sweeney looks sexy all the time. She was totally wrong to play me. And I'm just like, and, you know, part of me is kind of like, okay, I mean, maybe you should be able to criticize who's playing you in a movie about you. Like, I don't fault her for that, but at the same time, I'm just like, it just feels a little tacky.
Yes. Well, also, I'm like, I guess she is, like, 107 years old.
So she would just say things.
Yeah.
Like,
where she's like, well, I don't know. She has big tits, so she's probably a hoe.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah.
That's the kind of thing that she's probably... But it's like, again, like, I was like, okay, yeah, Sydney Sweeney,
I'm with you.
controversial.
Yeah,
like,
and then she's, like, above the waist. It's like, oh.
She's sexy all the time because she just has
boobs.
Big boobs.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It is interesting casting, but I was just like, Kim.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think, I mean, they're going to move forward with it. I was listening to this podcast where they brought up a good point that you were saying, do you think if people have biopics made of them, should they have a say in the biopic at all, or, like, who plays them? And I feel like I am of two minds.
So, we've definitely talked about this before. I think one of your two minds is, like, should they even be alive if a biopic is being made about them, which I also have mixed feelings about.
It gives more information, but also, like, kind of can taint that information, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you can tell that the movie is catering to them.
Yes.
Rather than maybe telling the full story.
Right.
But wait, so your question was, should they be able to choose who plays them?
Or just have a say in it?
I don't know, because again, that would be them being involved in the movie, and sometimes I don't think that should be...
I don't think so either. I think about the House of Gucci movie and how, like, the Gucci family was upset about it because they said that they were not attractive enough to play them.
Wow.
You know, like, I think people have skewed opinions of themselves.
Well, what's her face? Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she thought Joey King... she didn't like that Joey King played her.
Really?
Yeah. And so I do think, like, you know, if we're talking about I don't think so. I don't think they should have a say in who plays them.
I don't think so either. But then there's also, like, the whole Daryl Hannah thing with Love Story where, you know, she felt like now people are going to associate this character of Daryl Hannah with her that isn't, like, anything like her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she didn't get a say in that, but it's going to, like, affect her reputation probably for a long time.
Yeah, and I guess I really do have two minds about it, because I guess as I think of it, like, it would be kind of messed up for someone to be alive and they're like, we're going to make a biopic of you and you have no say in any of it. And you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
And that feels a little weird too, so I don't know.
But then it's like you get this Kim Novak situation where it's like, let's say she did have a say in it and she'd just be like, your boobs are too big, you're out.
Yeah, then and we don't know.
Problematic.
I am curious how she's going to play her, but we don't know yet. Give her a chance.
To be fair, the movie is called Scandalous.
Yeah.
And it is about, like, their relationship. So I'm sure it will be sexual in a sense, but it's not because Sydney Sweeney has great tits. Yeah.
I think it's funny because it's now the second movie that Coleman Domingo's involved with where, like, the person is mad about the... Because I think because he was doing Michael, he's in Michael.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently Paris Jackson, like, said something, like, she kind of, like, they have beef a little, or not.
Yeah.
He doesn't have beef with her, but, like, she said something to him basically about, like...
I always forget Paris Jackson's, like, an adult now.
It freaks me out when I just see her. Like, it's wild to me that someone out there is Michael Jackson's kid. Like, that is wild to me because he feels so, it's kind of like when I just see the Beatles are just alive still. I'm like, that's wild. Yeah,
that is true. Or like when I think about how, like, Stella McCartney is, like, Paul McCartney's child, and you're just like, what? Whoa. Have you ever seen John Lennon's children?
Yes.
They look just like
they
him.
Do, yeah.
But, like, slightly different.
And I was just thinking, I wonder if like Paul McCartney, I saw photos of Paul McCartney walking around with Paul Mescal because he's playing him in the movie, and I was kind of wondering, I was like, did they have a say in it?
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. But also there's, like, a thing, like, if someone does your biopic and they cast someone and you're like, wait, is that what I look like?
Yeah.
Like, is that what people think about me? God.
I will say, I know, Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney.
Flattered, yeah.
I'd be so flattered if she was cast in my role. She doesn't really look like her, to be honest, but...
No, but I feel like a lot of these biopics, I don't usually think they look that much like her, and then the hair and makeup people do their thing. Like, I didn't think that Lily James looked like Pamela Anderson.
No, of course not, but then she really looks like her.
Yes, and then, like, when I looked up photos, I'm like, I can't tell if this is the show or reality.
It's crazy.
Now. Yeah.
What's your favorite, we've probably asked each other this before, but what's your favorite, like, biopic?
My favorite biopic?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Well, what's yours? Do you know? I have to think for a second.
I really like Walk the Line.
Oh, yeah.
I think Joaquin, I used to listen to that soundtrack all the time. Like, I honestly probably listened to the soundtrack as much as I listened to, like, actual Johnny Cash. Because I just think, like, as a kid, you know. But I just think Joaquin Phoenix did such an amazing job in that. And that was one where they really showed his flaws, but they still made it a beautiful movie.
Mine, so I'm going to say the first one that came to mind, and then the one, they're both the same, like, vein. So the first one is the Tolkien biopic that has...
oh, I never saw that.
I don't know why, but
is Nicholas Hoult in that?
Yeah, he plays Tolkien. He also plays J.D. Salinger. He had a thing where he was just playing, like, male authors of a certain time. I don't know why. I just think about it a lot because I think they just did it really well. And then Becoming Jane, the Anne Hathaway, Jane Austen biopic, I really loved, even though it's incredibly inaccurate and is basically Pride and Prejudice redone. I was watching it the other day and I was like,
really?
I enjoy something about this. Not her British accent. Never
her British accent. Is that considered a biopic? I guess it is.
Yeah.
I guess it is.
I guess so, yeah. I feel like I can't think of any biopics right now, but there's so many.
That's funny because I hate biopics, but I was like ready.
Would Marie Antoinette be one? I love Marie Antoinette.
I think of that as more like an artistic, like in art form a little bit. Yeah. I also... I do really like Rocket Man a lot.
Yeah. I feel like there are ones that I just am not thinking of right now.
Yeah. Rocket Man followed that same formula that I generally dislike in biopics, but what was interesting to me about that movie is that they made it like a musical. And I really liked that. I'm sure you didn't, but I really liked that. The way they did it.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like my favorite thing. I like biopics that are about random people. Yeah. That I'm just like, I didn't know anything about this person. This is really interesting.
I know I don't normally like musical, like I don't normally like singer, musician biopics, but those are the ones that come to mind. Yeah. Because Walk the Line is probably my favorite.
Complete Unknown was like I was tearing up at like one point. The music is
really very beautiful.
Good. Oh, I love A Coal Miner's Daughter.
That is a good movie.
Loretta Lynn, Sissy Spacek. It's a good movie. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh. So, how did we get on this topic?
Well, we were talking about biopic. Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah. Again, you know what?
Like we didn't really go off topic there.
Think about what you want about Sydney Sweeney, but don't make it just about her tits. Okay.
Yeah. Although. I feel like sometimes she's trying to get away from that and then she just goes into it, but we won't get into that.
Oh, well, I think it's because that's what, like, I think about, like, how that, what do you call it? The wrestling movie or the boxing movie flopped, Christy. Yeah. And I'm like, I think people just don't want to see Sydney Sweeney not being hot also. But also that looked like a bad movie.
It did. It looked like it was wanted to be an Oscar baity. Yeah. And it was, like, clearly not going to be, and something about that really cringed me out. Yeah. But she got the casting for that. She got slammed for that, too.
But I think of, oh my God, what is the name of the woman from Law & Order who plays Olivia?
I don't watch the show. I don't know her name.
But you know how she had that documentary, like, My Mother Jane? Yeah. And she was talking about how, like, her mom was, like, to use, like, you know, the term a busty blonde or whatever in Hollywood, and how she was actually very smart. She wanted to do serious roles. She wanted to do something artistic, and people, like, couldn't get it out of their mind. So then she just had to be like, okay, well, if I even want to be in this industry, I guess I'll just have to keep doing these, like, these roles for this thing. I don't know.
It is fair. It's an interesting, it's interesting. The Sydney Sweeney thing is kind of, I don't know how to feel about it because sometimes I do think she is a good actor. Like there's, but I can really only name 2 things where I think her acting is good.
Yeah.
But I think her acting is actually very good in them.
Yeah.
And then she's just a complicated individual.
You know what's crazy? Thinking of Sydney Sweeney. So we're recording on the 6th. Isn't it by the time we record next week, Euphoria will be out?
Yes, I'm so excited.
That's crazy. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week, you guys.
Well, are we going to talk about the first episode? Probably.
I feel like we won't be able to contain ourselves. Yeah. Giddy. But okay, speaking of Marie Antoinette and Sydney Sweeney, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll bring those 2 together. Kirsten Dunst. Am I saying it? It's Kirsten Dunst, right?
Yeah. You spelled it very wrong, but yeah.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah. So she is set to be in the next Handmaid's Tale, which I think comes out in like December of next year or this year, whatever.
This year? Wow.
I think so.
They're pumping those movies out.
Well, yeah, because the first one brought in $400 million.
Yeah.
And so I think it's interesting. I was kind of like, I'll be honest, a little disappointed in her because I was like, you know what? I thought like you're like an Oscar.
I saw a thing where it's like, damn, like Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst, like you can tell childcare is like they're having to pay for childcare right now.
But then I was like, well, it's kind of like Amanda Seyfried is paired up in this movie in the first one, and The Testament of Anne Lee is available to stream now, I think. By the way.
Okay, I want to watch it. She maybe Kirsten Dunst saw that and was like, you know, it could be something to get involved with.
Yeah, could dip my toe in the water. And you know what? She does have a diverse, like, she did The Virgin Suicides and then Bring It On. You know, like, she's got a wide breadth of movies under her belt. And so I'm curious, this one's going to be called The Housemaid's Secret. Have you read this one?
No, I only read the first book.
Okay. And so it's going to be the same screenwriter, Rebecca Sonnenschein. And then Michelle Maroney. Michael Marone or whatever is going to be the groundskeeper.
Or whatever.
Enzo. I don't know how to say his last name. And then Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Sklenar are not returning because you know, their story's done, and also
I didn't know Enzo returns.
I didn't either. It's like that
Enzo will return. They could have done that with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
So Sydney Sweeney's in it though, right?
Yes,
okay.
I think Sydney Sweeney's character is in all of them. Yeah, it's all about like her moving to like between.
She's like a Mary
families.
Poppins, but
yeah. But I've heard that people don't like the rest of the books after this.
Really,
one.
My mom read them. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, I'll ask her tomorrow.
Yeah,
distract her from Outlander.
Megan, I think, read them all too.
Did she? Okay, I'll have to ask her.
No. Her mom did, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck to them.
I don't think I'll be seeing the next movie because I didn't read the book, so.
Yeah. I mean, if people want to see it, I'll see it, but, you know.
Classic you.
Yeah, classic me. Again, they just feel like movies that could be on, our streaming movies.
Yeah.
And not necessarily go to the movie, buy a $8 popcorn and chill or whatever. Mm-hmm. But speaking of Kirsten Dunst, so you know what's strange is that when you look up this adaptation of The Bell Jar, what comes up is the new news about it, but also a lot of stuff about Kirsten Dunst. And I was really confused at first. I was like, wait, she's doing The Bell Jar? She was doing The Bell Jar in 2016. It was supposed to be her directorial debut, and she had cast Elle Fanning as the lead character, Esther Greenwood.
Yeah.
But then it kind of fell to the wayside. So and we'll get into why this is relevant now.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because when I saw something about this, I was like, actually, why don't we really have any adaptations of The Bell Jar? It's such a popular book. People love it. I know my depressed ass fucking loved that book. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting. I was looking it up. The only significant adaptation was a 1979 version with Larry Pierce, directed by Marilyn Hassett and Julie Harris. And then people really hated that version. They said it was really bad. And Julia Stiles was attached to the one in 2007 that they were trying to adapt, but it didn't happen. And then came the Kirsten Dunst version with, Dakota Fanning, not Elle Fanning.
Oh, okay.
And basically, Kirsten Dunst gave it up because she had just had a child around that time, and she said, directing a film and having a baby, that's 2 years of your life, directing, editing, promoting all of it. Maybe when I'm older, I want to try again, but I don't have any interest. She also didn't have the rights to the book at the time, but this was supposed to be her directorial debut. So it's like they keep trying to do these iterations of the bell jar, and it keeps failing.
Yeah.
And part of it is because it is the work is very, like, internal monologue set. And I think it's very difficult to adapt that well.
Yeah, it just wouldn't translate well into it. It's probably why the first one didn't do well.
Yeah, I think so. People just, I think, really hated it.
Yeah.
And especially if you're, like, a fan of the book, I think it really... It's just hard to do. But anyways, So why it matters now is that Sarah Polley, she has won an Oscar. She's known for movies like Women Talking, Away From Her, and Alias Grace. Fantastic series if you haven't seen it. She is closing a deal with Focus Features to distribute a version of the movie in the United States, and she's set to direct. And it's recently been announced that Billie Eilish is in talks to play Esther Greenwood. How do we feel about this? This would be her acting debut.
So it will be her acting debut. So I mean, she could, she might be taking acting lessons. I know she acts in her music videos and, whatever. But I will say, as somebody, I don't know if this counts. It's a different scenario, but, like, she's very wooden on SNL whenever when she's hosted. And I just think, so based on that, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious. I'm curious why, if they...
It's interesting because people are like, some people are like, oh, great casting because her music is, like, so moody and, like, depressed and
then
whatever.
Then she can do the music for it.
But, think about this, like... The most recent casting of this character was Dakota Fanning, and now it's Billie Eilish. Yeah. And those two people feel like Dakota, I'm like spot on.
Right.
Billie Eilish feels completely different to me.
It feels like very like stunt casting.
Yes, and it's like I'm not gonna be watching The Bell Jar with Billie Pirate Eilish and be like, yeah, I'm really like this was Sylvia Plath's vision, Like, and again, it's just in talks. It's just chatter.
Yeah.
But let's shut it down.
Yeah, let's stop talking.
Yeah. Who would be the worst person cast for it? And I'll say my answer as I always do.
I know what you're going to say, so we'll say it at the same time.
Ready? Joey King.
Yes. I know you're going to count down.
Joey King and Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar.
There would be an Alexa cut out through the wall because she would just throw herself through the wall.
I would be showing up at Focus Feature Studios and I would be starting a riot.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy a gun.
The thought is so funny to me.
Like, that would be crazy. But I hope the movie gets made because I want to see. I think Sarah Polley's like a great director for this. If she can do it, anyone can. But
I'm curious what the reasoning with Billie Eilish is. Like, she must have she must have something. There must be a reason. It can't just be because of her vibe is the same.
They better make her audition. They better make
I'm sure
her
she has already.
Something for it. I'm curious, like, okay, who would you cast? Like, we're thinking of, like, Dakota Fanning.
Well, when you first said Elle...
She also kind of fits, I think.
Yeah.
She could do it.
And also, I mean, when we were talking about Kirsten Dunst, like, that made me think, I was like, oh, that makes sense if it was Elle Fanning because they... First of all, are both Sofia Coppola vibes, but also like they did the movie The Beguiled.
Oh, The Beguiled.
I just saw that recently for the first time. I really loved it. But anyway,
Florence Pugh.
When is that East of Eden coming out?
I don't know, but I think that's going to be my next long form read. I've never read it, and everyone loves it.
The show, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I want to read it before the show.
When is that East of Eden book coming out?
When is that new Steinbeck hitting shelves?
Florence Pugh.
Okay, Sarah Polley, listen to this. Florence Pugh. We'll say it again. Florence Pugh. Not.
What about Anya Taylor-Joy?
She would be interesting too, but I feel like she almost has too much of a peppiness to her. Whereas Florence Pugh, I think, can bring a little downturn to something. In a good way. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can't see. Face. She was doing the sad face. And she also has like the voice and like I feel like she can glam it up and also glam it down. You know what I mean? And that's what I like about her. Is like she can look like a movie star and she can also look like a regular person. I also think the actor, like a younger version of the actress from Sentimental Value, a younger, blonder version would be good.
Yeah.
So like her, but not. Would be really solid for that.
You know who would really... This is a really random one, and she's not blonde, but do you know who Thomasin McKenzie is?
No.
She was in... Did you ever see Last Night in Soho?
No, actually, that is missing from my Criterion
speaking of Anya
collection.
Taylor-Joy, your Alexa collection.
Yeah. What's her name?
Thomasin McKenzie. I'm trying to think of other things she was in. She was recently in that movie with Anne Hathaway. I don't know if you saw that. Why am I like slurring?
Oh, I have seen this person. Yes. This woman.
She, probably looking at her, you're not like seeing it, but she...
No, I could see this.
Because she's a little, like, she's very pretty. She's a little, like, kind of mousy, but I think she would really get that, like, depression, mental health.
Yeah. I could see that.
Character down. I don't know.
Or even, like, what's her name? The one who brought the Pokemon cards to the Oscars. I think she's a great actress. Though.
Yeah, I just think of her as in more like young adult type movies.
Yeah, well, she's still pretty young herself. I don't even know if she's. 21.
I think she's like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Wait, what is her name? McKenna Grace.
Yeah,
she's in everything.
Got the eyes for like, I'm depressed.
Kiernan Shipka.
Oh, she actually would be interesting. Yeah, I could see that.
She really, on my last Mad Men rewatch, I was kind of blown away by her acting. Actually.
Sydney Sweeney.
No, God, can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
I'm trying to think of something to say with her.
I've never been happier. What a time.
Because I love Nate Jacobs. Nate Jacobs.
One of my vocal stems is like, Oklahoma's not like a play you read.
Yeah, you do love saying that.
But anyway, so that'll be interesting.
In a good way or a bad way. Bitch, you better be joking.
That was a really good impression.
Of who?
Of Alexa Demi.
Bitch, you better be joking.
I want to say Alexa Demi, but that's not
it. Demi.
Which I was also like, people were saying, hopefully after Euphoria, like her career kind of like picks up more.
I hope so too.
Apparently she does like music and stuff, and that's kind of what she wants.
I haven't seen her in
to be, but
one other thing.
She hasn't been in anything, which is crazy. But anyway, so that's The Bell Jar starring Joey King and Billie Eilish. We'll be looking forward to that adaptation.
Well, I'm curious. Surprise me.
Yeah.
I hope she's gotten acting lessons.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's like the best actress ever. Who knows?
But again, I saw her, like, I remember when she hosted SNL and she was just so wooden.
Yeah.
And I know that's a different situation, but...
And sometimes for, like, a role like this, I'm like, I think you need a little bit of an unknown. Because otherwise, sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to be watching Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, Lady Gaga, I think, is a fantastic actress. But sometimes I watch movies and I'm just like, well, that is Lady Gaga.
Who's an actress? Okay, another little icebreaker question for you.
Icebreaker at the end here.
Who's like a singer that you like, that their acting really impressed you?
That their acting really impressed me. Hilary Duff. No, just kidding.
God. What's that song she sings in Raise Your Voice?
Oh.
La 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 la. It's mixed with Haley's voice.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Oh my God. Okay, I just looked up singers who are also actors because I like can't think of any on the spot.
I could give you an example.
Okay.
Because mine would probably be either Lady Gaga or Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande for sure.
Which again, they were like, Ariana Grande was an actress, but she was a Nickelodeon actress, so I never really got to see her acting, and she just really brought Glinda to life, and I just really...
Mine is Ludacris. No, just kidding. Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, she's good.
A fantastic actress.
She does a crazy Southern accent in Knives Out, though.
She does, yeah.
It's like pretty awful.
Can't forget Mark Wahlberg. Does he count?
Okay, do you consider... And actually, I don't think he's a very good actor.
Who I'm hoping the best for is A$AP Rocky. I want to see him in more. I really like him. 23 actors who began their careers in music.
It doesn't count if you're like looking up lists.
I'm not bad on the spot. That's why we do question of the week, so I can have 7 days to think about it.
Well, Lady Gaga was interesting because I saw her at, so before A Star Is Born, she was in that season of American Horror Story Hotel.
Yeah.
And I remember when it came out, I was like, is she good or not? Like, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And I still really can't tell if I think she was good in that season. But then when I saw her in A Star Is Born, I was like, wow.
Yeah. You know what? I hope the best for Bad Bunny. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, I love Bad Bunny, but I didn't like his acting. You're just looking at a list and being like, I hope the best for them. This doesn't count. I wanted your actual opinion.
I couldn't think of anyone.
That's okay.
I always forget that Madonna was in
Madonna.
A League of Their Own.
Yes. Oh my God. So I just got into a kick of watching that like all the time again recently.
Really?
Yes. They took it off Netflix though. Rude.
Oh, I hate
and
that.
she's so funny in it. Like she's
She
so
is,
good.
yeah.
God, I love that movie.
Gosh. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to kill your son.
That is, what a move. Like, what? I'm sad that they canceled the Amazon Prime version.
I never watched that.
It was so good. It was like, it was like almost completely different from the show, like sort of plot wise, but like, and I love that. If you're going to do a reboot, make it different.
Yeah.
Give me something new. Take a new take on it.
What's your favorite reboot? I'm just kidding.
My favorite reboot.
No, I'm joking.
Well, it's, you know what's crazy when sometimes you're really enjoying something and then your dad will be like, I remember when the original came out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah. I saw when Wicked came out, I thought it was really beautiful. Like, so I think she's since died, but Ariana Grande's grandmother went to see Wicked in the movies. Like, she I think it was like they rented out a theater for her to watch it or something. I don't think she was at a premiere.
Yeah.
But she was watching it and someone pointed out she would have been alive when The Wizard of Oz came out. Like, how crazy is that?
That is crazy. Wow.
Hopefully that's true.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because Ariana Grande is older than me and my grandma was definitely alive when it came out.
Yeah. Ariana Grande's always older than I realized. She's like 35 or something.
Yeah.
She might be younger than that. But...
I think she's 32. Let's split the difference, yeah.
Okay.
Something. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I actually don't
30.
know.
I don't think she's 35. I think I was wrong with that one.
She's 47.
Do you think her and Cynthia Erivo are still friends? Do you think they've talked once?
No. I think Ariana Grande gets really obsessed with people really fast and then cut off.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do think that. Great actress, though.
Yeah, I mean,
singer turned actress.
Singer turned actress. I mean, she's a true talent, and it sucks because she seems like she'd be fun to be friends with. But then I'd constantly be worried, like, is she gonna stop being friends with me?
Yeah,
all the time.
True.
Anyways, you know who won't stop being friends? Us. We'll be returning week after week, right to your ears.
This weekend, you and I hugged, and we both were like.
I think neither of us addressed it, but I saw it both on our faces.
No, you said it. You were like, we hugged. And I was like, oh.
I'd had a little bit of drink, I'll be real. But yes. Because the thing is, it's like we never... Actually, when we took a photo together, someone had to tell us to get closer in the photo.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we actually don't. We don't be out here touching.
We don't do that,
Yeah. But that doesn't mean...
When we had Tanya on last week and we were in the camera, we realized we looked like a parent zooming their kid because we weren't like near each other at all.
We've been married for 40 years.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't even talk. But that doesn't mean that the love isn't there.
Aww.
That the friendship isn't strong.
And the pop culture isn't
powerful. Yeah, we're doing fists at each other. You can't see us. So that means you should come back and have us pop in between your ears again next week, the week after, and forever and ever until pop culture ends, which is never. Anyways, thanks for listening. We hope that you share with your singer turned actor friends, and we hope that Joey King never hears this podcast.
Please.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope no one hears this podcast today. I've talked a lot of shit about people.
And that's the best. That's how you bond.
I know, but do you ever think about like when we like this podcast really takes off, we're going to have to do some serious damage control.
Yeah, we're going to atone for our sins.
We're going to have to delete some episodes.
Yeah, but we got to get there first, and you do that
No, you know what? We stand on business here. Yeah. We don't take back what we say.
We won't. Once we get famous, and we have to do that by you guys sharing this with your friends.
Yeah.
Family, loved ones, pets, everyone. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.